it's so important to develop a good community to just like have each other's back, trust each other. Oh shit!
Holy fuck!
I got fucking.
I've
bodied,
never
dude.
done anything even remotely close to that. I want you to know that.
Holy shit,
I've
dude,
landed up throw rest maybe twice.
Dude. Dude, I might have to fucking interview you, dude.
Holy, what the
Oh.
fuck just happened? Okay. I've done so many crazy videos while counting down the top 100 that today I'll just be returning to the original unbeaten format. Today I'm joined by Ryobeat, and we will play 5 games. During each game I'll get to know him better and hopefully learn some things to help me continue improving at Melee. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I love interview style formats, especially with the game in it like involved. So shout out to you for doing such a cool format.
Thank you. Not even my idea, but I'll take it. So I start off with this question every time. It's tradition at this point in the series. What got you into Melee as a game, and what got you into it competitively?
What got me into his game and what got me into competitive? Okay, so my brother is he's like more of a music guy, honestly, but like when we were growing up, he was all about video games, and he would he would invite his friends over when he was like 13ish, and I was like 8, and he didn't want me like cramping his style and hanging out with his friends, and so like he was like, all right, Nico, you can't play with us, like you're too young, like I'm gonna tell mom to get you out of here because I kind of just want privacy. I'm like, god damn, if I want to play video games with you guys, this sucks. So at some point I would like play while he was at school, and then I got better at the games to the point where his friends wanted to play me more than him, and he was really, really mad about it. He was like, oh, Nico, get out. And they're like, wait, but we can't beat him. I want to see if I can. And then they're like, oh, fine, okay, like you guys could play like a little bit. So eventually I followed him to all the games he liked, and I kept beating him. And he was like, man, fuck this. I don't like video games anymore. I'm gonna get a guitar. And he was like, but Nico, you won't beat like this like local kid in our area, like my friend's brother. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I played him. It was Brawl, and I won. He's like, well, Brawl's the whack game. The real game is Melee. I'm like, okay. I get fucked up, and I'm like, shit. Like, how do I get better? So I just looked up like advanced Melee on some YouTube search and found Mango Armada, and I was like, holy shit, this is nuts. Oh, that down tilt was nuts. and he was like, and I like just found out about like wave dashing and up throw rest and like a bunch of like things that just like changed the game instantly as like a casual. And I was like, dude, you gotta check this out. And then it was all history from there.
I like that up throw rest was game changing for you.
Oh yeah, because it's like wave dashing isn't game changing yet because it's like, what does that like do?
What do you do with it? Yeah, fair enough.
But then you're casual. If my friend played like Fox or Falco and I just up throw rest, he's like, okay, that you could actually just start destroying me now because you know that.
Yep, that's true. Fair enough. You actually single-handedly turned your brother into a music nerd from a gaming nerd. That's
dude. I feel he always talks about like he's like, dude, please never get into music. Don't steal my thing from me again. And it's so cute.
Whew. All right, honestly, I don't think I did that bad that game. I'm not great at Final Destination because I like moving around on platforms, but I'll take that game.
Yeah, not shabby at all.
I'll stay Dr. Mario.
All right, sweet. Because you originally played Puff, right?
I don't know. I played Puff for a long time. I don't know what a long time is. 3 weeks, I guess. But that's a fourth or 3/4 of my career. So, I played Puff just because it was somewhat easier. And lately, I've been playing Dr. Mario just because I'm interested. I'll probably switch to Puff to see if I can do better with that after a game or two.
Nice.
All right. So, you're actually the first player I've done a video with to have been sponsored at one point. You were with Makeshift for a pretty long time. Who seem to be what I've researched, like a organization that sponsors traveling to tournaments. So how was that experience?
Makeshift was honestly game changing. So I like what's it called? So my whole life I started like super young. So I started when I was like 14, and at the time Makeshift picked me up, I was like 18. Like I just got this email that they really wanted to help me out. It was like just a group of like local guys from my area that I like knew as people originally. And they were just like, oh, we really want to help you out. We see that you really care. Cause like my parents were pretty strict. And also I didn't have a lot of money as a young person. And they're like, we'll help you get to nationals and stuff, which I like literally even 5 years into the game, didn't really go to many. particularly out of region. So they gave me like 100 a month for honestly like 2.5 years, which is like way more than I could have asked. Because like I think at some point they wanted to just like have like I don't know, they wanted to like mix up their player base a little bit. But they just like liked having me on the team so much that like for the longest time they didn't get rid of me, even when it like there was no point to have me. Like all of them had quit Melee, and they were still like, no, we should still sponsor Nico. Here's $100. I'm like, why? I'm like, I don't deserve this. You guys don't even play.
So how did they come to, if you hadn't, competed in nationals and everything like that, how did they come to find and to choose you to sponsor rather than anyone else?
So I think the traits they liked about me was I was obviously like a up and coming player in the area. Like I was consistently top 10 tri-state. And then I was young, which is like they really wanted to help people who really didn't have the means. So like even if there was someone who maybe had more potential than me, like if they had like a good job or like their family helped them get to tournaments, they're like, well, they don't have an issue going to tournaments, like whereas Ryobeat does. And I think like the other thing was they really cared about like a player that would like, speak up for like social justice issues, which I do a lot on my Twitter account. Not like necessarily speak up all the time, but they didn't want like particularly toxic, salty players. They wanted someone that like had a good social media presence and was like okay, like with like promoting stuff like Smash Sisters, stuff like that.
Right.
They're very inclusive in their like idea of like what esports should be.
So it was overall a very positive experience then.
Oh, absolutely. I felt bad that I got top 100 once they unsponsored me. Like I wish I could have done it with them. But I just tell them like, oh dude, it was because you guys sponsored me, you brought me to this point that I could have gotten it, you know? Right. So they were great. I had such a good time with them.
All right, so you've been around the scene a fairly long time, with your first major tournament appearances taking back all the way in 2012, like we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
What would you say has changed the most about the scene since then, and what would you say has remained the same?
One thing I think that has changed about the scene is I feel like it's less grassrootsy, like it's super esports related, and not just in the sense of like, oh, we can't say like curse words on stream, but even just like the general vibe. I think people are way more distant from each other. Like I feel like people like will, I don't know, be salty with someone on net play, or like they don't hang out to get like dinner with their friends afterwards. They don't all know each other on a first name basis, like that type of stuff, which I really, really miss because like I think it's so important to develop a good community, to just like have each other's back, trust each other. Oh shit!
Holy fuck!
I got fucking.
I've
bodied,
never
dude.
done anything even remotely close to that. I want you to know that.
Holy shit,
I've
dude,
landed up throw rest maybe twice.
Dude, I might have to fucking interview you, dude.
Holy, what the fuck just happened? Okay. Oh yeah, followed up with a misinput air dodge. I'm sorry, continue. I just
No, you're good. No, so I was like, oh yeah, I think I wish more people would like be understanding, or like be like more respectful to other people, and like try to make closer connections in the community. And I feel like we've lost that a little bit. I guess something that has stayed the same, I think, is like the passion for the game, which is so shocking. Like, I mean, I know that everybody brings up the whole like, yeah, we've been playing for so long and we're still here. Like, it's so cool and stuff. But like, genuinely, like, you watch stuff like Big House 9 Grand Finals, and the whole audience is losing it for Mango, which is like 10 years ago or like 12 years ago or something. Like, they were losing their minds for it, and people still like just care so much about this game, and I'm so happy about that. Like, I genuinely feel like I don't see like I mean, obviously we're biased Melee players, but like I feel like I don't see a lot of enthusiasm from other games like we do. Like, we'll get hype up for like round 1 pools or something, you know?
God damn. I guess Puff was a better choice. You did SD once, so it was somewhat even, but still.
True. Hey, I mean, that rest was fucking...
That was fucking crazy. Okay, here's the thing. I set up for it like 8 times and was too afraid to go for it. I think I had you in rest position like 8 different times, and I kept just back airing or up airing or something, because I was like, no, I can't do it yet. I can't do it yet. And then you missed the tech, and I was like, all right, I'll try.
Yeah, no, that was fucking sick. That's like mid high level puff stuff right there. Tech Chase Rest.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, I'm hyped. All right. So, in relation to the last question, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, despite being around for the better part of 7 years, you were only ranked for the first time in 2019. So, what do you think changed that allowed you to suddenly be on the top 100 and to be fairly far into the top 100, not like 90s, 80s or anything, in your 7th year when you weren't ranked at all before that?
So it's really interesting. I think like Smash is such a big game in my opinion that it's like it's such a big game that it's hard for even years to like just focus on the wrong things for a long time. And just like I think we're constantly finding new problems with ourselves, and like we focus on things that are more insignificant than others. And so I've been playing the game for a long time, so like maybe the first 4-5 years I was just like, getting a little better every time. Like I got to like pretty good in my region pretty quickly. Like that, I think I've been like maybe almost top 100 or like top 150 range for like more than half my career. But the jump from like almost top 100 to like pretty solidified top 100 is like, I think I like analyzed way more videos and more in depth. Like I asked way more people their opinion about me. And I think it's really easy playing Melee that you can be like, I don't know, just kind of to yourself. Like you think you know what you should do instead of like listening to others. And really just like not holding on to, oh shit. It's like really easy to like hold on to your play just because like you think your style is cool or you think the way you play isn't that bad. But I think in order to get good, you have to like completely separate yourself from your play. Like you need to just like let your ego go and be like, okay, I'm not thinking about like what I think is good or like what I think is cool. Like let's just do what like good advice says. And I think good advice usually comes from like just like players that are better than you, and you have to make sure that you really understand what they're saying and not just like pick the options they say without thinking, if that makes sense. So like maybe someone will tell me, oh, Nico, like your edge guards, you should be using back air more than this. Like I need to go in depth. It's like, okay, when do I use back air? At what timing? First, what characters and what position? Like those type of questions. Like really get into someone's advice and not just be like, yes, okay, I'll do that without really getting it,
Right.
Oh, shit. And I also think something I'm also really proud of is in relation to like getting better over time is like the Falcon matchup, which is something I've struggled with for a while. I had my longtime training partner beat me a lot, Captain Smuckers, and like I struggled with Falcon for a long time, and I spent all of last year just on Falcon and asked tons of different people, practiced a lot, played lots of different Falcons, didn't take it too hard when I lost, and instead was just trying to like learn about it. And then at the beginning of this year, I beat Wizrobe, and that was like maybe the biggest thing in my career, just being like, wow, like something I like really struggled with for like maybe my whole time playing Melee, with like good amount of work and good dedication, like I was able to turn into like the biggest Falcon win I could get.
All right, so your Smash player profile has you tagged as the Eternal Optimist. How do you feel about that impression that you've had on the Smash scene? Do you enjoy the thought of having that sort of title and that reputation, or do you think it needs some work?
I really like the name Eternal Optimist. Like I think it just has come from like me being unbelievably happy all the time and excited about Melee. Like I think it's like, I don't know, for me, like how I see Melee is just like I've dealt with a lot of, as many people obviously, like a lot of difficulties in my life with like family issues and like school stress and all that stuff. And it's like when I think about like Melee in relationship to that, I'm just like, dude, I'd much rather like go 0-2 for the rest of my life, but get to play like the sickest game ever than like, I don't know, deal with some dumb job stuff. And so like, I take Melee like as like a super blessing to the life I live. Ah, shit.
Can you tell him shit at Falco?
No, you're all good. Falco's hard. It's hella buttons. But yeah, I think the tag fits super well. I definitely like, it's pretty hard for me to get like super emo about Melee or like particularly hate Melee. Like I think throughout me playing a lot, like I haven't really like taken big breaks at all just because it's like so fun. Like when I'm doing bad in school, I actually just tell myself to play more Melee as like okay, I'm too sad, I need more motivation type of thing. Fuck, please.
Yes, I got it. I got it. Hell yeah! All right, man. Well, that's your 5 games, your 5 questions. It is your time to plug what you've got going on. Everything that you mentioned will be linked in the description, but you can say it out loud for anyone watching.
Sweet. Well, first of all, thank you for this interview. This was super fun, and I love that like you did the research on the questions. Made me think about like thinking about just like the word eternal optimist I haven't thought of before. Thinking about like my sponsor, I've never answered a question. So shout out to you and your good questions and your sick puff rest.
You know that's gonna be the intro to the video. I hope you're aware of that.
I know, dude. But who do I even plug? Okay,
yourself.
I guess I guess my own Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter. I have a cool Twitter, I would say, at Ryobeat Peach. And then if you are an LGBTQ person, you should check out my pinned post. There's this Discord that has a great name, by the way. It's called the Gay Lay Discord. And it just has all the LGBTQ smashers, and they talk about all LGBTQ stuff in like a really nice space. I love everyone there, and like I think it's helped a lot of people. So if anyone's interested in that, definitely check that out. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome.
For my shout outs.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, dude.